I don't know how the laundry business will evolve or change in the next 20 years, but I do have the experience of having been in this industry for 20 years. And I'll tell you this, these stores are still falling apart because people don't reinvest. No one's putting the money in other than those of us who don't purchase the store. What does that mean? Go in with a lease. It costs you nothing and spend the money on equipment. Now you have a successful laundromat with runway for 15 years. The opposite, the flip side, is some poor bastard that goes in, buys a business from someone. And the internet is fraught with people saying, buy a laundromat, buy a laundromat, buy a laundromat. Who would sell a successful cash business? There are many, many excuses for the sale, but there are no good reasons.
I don't have a unit available right now, but
I am aware. I am aware. I'm not, David, I'm not calling you on the typical empty space where I want to plug my business in. I'm actually interested in the laundromat. That is what I do. I've been in the laundry business for 20 some odd years.
That's what you come 100 miles to tell me. I'd have come further.
I have a few stores. And at the end of the day, I'm looking to lease the space, put some new equipment in, operate another successful store. It's my understanding you have the place for sale. You've got it up through a broker. And, you know, I wish you all the luck in the world with the sale. If you want to go in a different direction, I'm interested in leasing it from you, maybe giving you 300 grand for it, but it's going to take you 15 years to get it, if you know what I mean. It's just a different option. I'm not looking to.
yeah, I don't know where you got the impression that anything in the shopping center is up for sale. That's not true.
Has it listed, or did have it listed, I think. You know, when you plug this stuff into the internet, you'll see whatever has, if you ever had your bushes trimmed.
I don't know who. I don't know who Andy's. We've never had the shopping center up for sale.
No, not the center, the laundry space, the business, the laundromat.
Oh, now that might have been okay. All right. So the guy who leases the space for me is for 10 years. He's probably 2 years into it. He did notify me about 7 or 8 months ago that he was looking at trying to sell that business. And then I got a call from another person just a couple of weeks, well, maybe 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, looking. And I called, I said, hey, this gal's calling me. Similar to you, she already had a laundromat somewhere else. And I said, would you like me to give her your number? And he goes, no, we've decided not to sell. I said, oh, okay, that's fine. I mean, so, you know, and this was maybe 2 weeks ago. I had this conversation with him, you know, because this other gal had called and was interested in the space. He goes, no, we're not interested in doing anymore. So if it's still listed, I'll be glad to pass your information along to him. And David, if he's still interested in selling.
Here's the big thing. I appreciate all of the information, and you're 100% correct. So a gal called a few weeks ago wanting to buy the guy's business and called you?
Well, she called me, yes. And I said, I don't have anything to do with selling his business. If he wants to sell his business.
Great.
And you guys.
I'm trying to cut to the chase here. So I don't want to buy this man's laundromat or any laundromat at any price ever. So here's the thing. My interest is in one thing, infrastructure, the gas, water, and electric that exists in that space, right? I don't know who operates it. Frankly, I thought it was you. My information was incorrect. He does have it for sale through a broker. Whether or not he's waffling on selling it, I don't know.
All I know is I know less than when I come here.
Yeah, come on, Mace.
But you did say that he's 2 years into what, a 5-year lease?
10-year lease.
A 10-year lease. Okay. So he has 8 beautiful, luxurious years remaining on his lease, which is precisely what he would be selling if he sells his business. In my opinion, he's selling that lease. And that's great. Good for him. I wish him well. When I walk into the laundromat, it has 20-year-old equipment, poor procedures. They close the doors early. They're just not running a successful business. That doesn't matter. You know, I have opinions on everything from pizza to snowboarding, but this is a laundromat, which is my business. If the time comes that this gentleman vacates, I'm interested in leasing it. That's it. That's all.
Okay.
And I had bad information. I thought you operated it and going in that direction in the beginning. All I'm doing here is making an introduction, and our phones ring every day, David, with some idiot trying to sell us something. I'm not selling anything. I'm just interested in leasing it long term.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And apparently, you know, I'm just giving you a little bit of background here.
Sure.
The gal that called me wasn't interested in buying the business either. She was interested in me leasing her the space. And I'm like, I got to lease with the guy. So unless he tells me he wants out and he makes his payment like clockwork,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm not in the business of kicking him out. She wanted to upgrade too. That was her goal. She wanted to come in and put, you know, folding area in, all this other stuff. We even talked about, you know, we got into pretty big detail because it at the time was looking to get out, but nobody wants to invest in equipment and buy his business. Everybody just wants to take the space over, right?
You have it.
So-
Well, no,
so,
there's a ton of people that are dumb enough to buy it because, you know, like you, I have 7 strip malls. So like you, I have my fingers in a lot of pies, but I know how to run a laundry. And there's a lot of people on the internet saying, buy it, buy it, buy it, do whatever you have to do to buy it. And it's just, those people don't know the business either. They're just trying to make money telling people how laundries are this hands-off, wonderful, successful business that makes a ton of money. Well, if you find that business, let me know, because if you work hard in one laundromat, you have a job. If you have 36 locations and you've figured out how to scale to that level, you don't have a job. You are basically pulling levers and making money. And I don't know who the gal is that called you, but I don't know of a single woman that owns more than one laundromat. Just saying. Let me send you an email. We'll cut to the chase. If something changes here and this guy closes the doors, my partner Kenny is probably the one that will see it happen, and we'll be the ones to reach out to you and say, what the hell happened here? And, you know, maybe we'll lease it from you. I feel poorly for anyone running a laundromat like this. I really do. I'm not calling to try to end run this guy, but he could go in there and spend the money, change the outlook of the store, make a bunch of cash. Instead, he wants to sell it to the next sucker, and that's not going to be me. What's the best email address for you, Dave?
At gmail.com. And, you know, I'm happy to have your name. You know, I can tell you it's been a great tenant. They operate more than one operation. I don't think they have a chain of laundromats. I think they're more service oriented, and this is just one facet of their business. So they do, you know, a lot of hotel, house, B&B type services.
Yeah, well, the fun
So they're
part about
pretty-
having a laundromat in your portfolio, and you have one or even two, it's a cash business. So we all know how you can move that around the monopoly table in a different way than, you know, dealing with 90 days, same as cash, or you know, waiting for the insurance check to come in because you went to school for 20 years to be a doctor. At the end of the day, this is and the real estate game's a long slog. Glad to make your acquaintance, Dave. I'll send you an email. I'll CC my partner. I'll put some pictures of our laundromats in there. Thanks for the time.
Appreciate you.
Bye-bye. All right, there's a lot to unpack. Number one, it's 15 minutes on the phone with a guy who just wants to talk, right? And part of my it's not a persona with me, but I've got things to do. I'm not going to sit and talk to the guy. I don't give a shit who owns the place, what his name is. I'm not going to go look him up. And I think the most interesting and intriguing thing, almost every day now I'm talking to landlords who say, oh yeah, someone's knocking down my door trying to buy the place. Your information was wrong. You had the right number for the landlord, yes, but thinking that the landlord operated it, wrong. How can you know? You know when you talk to the right guy. Nope.
Yeah, yeah.
No big deal.
Well, these guys, they've got another place down the street. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Okay, good.
they've
None of that
got a
matters. You have to
store.
understand, none of that matters. All that matters is that we spoke to the landlord. We now made an introduction, and I have to put asunder
Okay.
whoever this other person is, because if it is a Danny prodigy, which maybe it is, maybe someone saw my course and decided to make the calls, she has to lie. Let's face it. The reason people hire me, one of the reasons is because you don't want to call up a guy. Look, the little white lie that I tell is, I sold my locations and my strip malls, but I still feel like that guy. And now that I'm dealing with you, I have my fingers in the pie of more laundromats than anyone on planet Earth. We all know that. Period. End of story. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We got someone selling a $10,000 course who's a lying sack of shit, who's never owned a single laundromat. I just saw she put a video out with another guy that's an influencer and says, "Oh, go buy her course."
I know who you're talking.
It's like, what are you doing? This house of cards is going to come crashing down. It's maddening to me because my impetus in doing this is to make sure that guys like you do this properly. If you can never own a laundromat, I feel like I've already done my job. Versus losing $300,000 and spending your time trying to make the place limp along. Anyway, I don't know who this other person is, but prodigy of mine or no, I'm going to say, Ken's my guy. I'm on the phone with you. This is your location. That other person doesn't mean shit. Did she send him an email? No. She doesn't understand how important this connection is. So when you make the connection, you make sure and he gave us his off email, his center's email. It's not, you could probably find his email without too much. Now that I've talked to him, we don't send emails to guys until we've talked. So I don't mind sending him an email to this email address and then bing, here's your other email that we just CC'd. And it's probably his first and last name at whatever. But Gmail's not a cheap email, it's just a free email, and Gmail's figured out, Google has figured out how to get into everybody's pants, and that's pretty smart if you ask me.
I'm pretty sure this hot water heater's got a few more good years left in it.